Hi Hannah, uh, this is the little tutorial on how to use Painter. I'm going to try to show you everything that I can think of to guide you through this. Painter is so powerful. It's just a good tool actually just to have, besides um, plenty of money that you can make on this project. This is such a wonderful project. We actually traded $80,000 for this so that we would own the rights to this many, many years ago, even before you were born. And we've just never, or maybe you were born now that I think about it, but you were really little. And, um, and I've always thought that uh, the original colorizing was really terrible. So we got the original art and we scanned it in. We had a blind, or not a blind guy, but a deaf black young man who needed work. He scanned all the 200 some pages in, and so this is just a wonderful project. But I've always known what it needs is a really moody kind of um, more of a art novel, or what do they call them? A graphic novel. I think if this thing had a moody graphic model look, it'd be great. And Photoshop could do it, but Photoshop doesn't have that really kind of non-digital feel like this has. So anyway, here we go. Um, the main tool that you're going to use really is just one called Simple Water, and you can see it up here. And the one thing you need to do is keep it on a layer so that it can be edited more easily. And also, you need to save it as a RIF file. That lets you go back in at any time and do anything you want. Essentially, it keeps it as a live file. Otherwise, it's flattened and you can't work in it anymore. So first thing I'm going to do is go under Layers here. And there's a little layers file up under the window if it's not already open. Also remember on your painter that you have workspaces. If it doesn't quite look right, look at workspaces and see if there's one here that maybe it's been made before. Go ahead and click on it. It might reset what's there. You can also create save a well, that's all you need to know about now. You can make like new workspaces and stuff, but just go to whatever seems like the default one that was already there. So I click on the painter icon here. There's going to be two critical files that or brush capabilities you're going to want to know about. One is opacity and the other is size. So the size and the opacity, those are the two things that can control it. So I'm going to go ahead and just do this little section here, and I'm going to enlarge it here so that, you know, it's about the size you want to do. So we're going to work a little different than you probably would in Photoshop. Oh, yeah, I got to make that layer first. New layer. Okay. Once that layer goes in, I'm just going to test it because sometimes it'll act differently in some programs. And so okay, right away I'm not getting any color. So this makes me wonder what's going on. My computer's been acting up lately. Default, new layer. You don't go new watercolor layer, by the way, because that's a digital watercolor. Alright, well, nothing like having technical problems right here. Okay, I hit undo, and let's see, layers. Well, let me first try okay, so there's the color, just putting it on the main layer, and we could do that. Let me think about this. You know what? I think to keep the whole project simple, because in a sense, if you save it as a RIF file, it is saved as a layer. So I think I'll skip. Let me try one more time here. New layer. Oh, okay, now it's doing it. I don't know what that was all about. So, yeah, go ahead, because it just allows us, what it really allows me to do is go underneath and edit the hard lines later if I want to change something, and that's kind of a nice thing to have. So, like for example, this doesn't quite, this, if you look up here, you can see that this didn't quite get put in right. So, it's easier to edit that. So now I'm on that layer, the painter layer here, and I'm now going to paint a big section here. And this is it's the harsh days of, it's at the beginning of the book, and I think this is the harsh days of Israel. And these guys are talking about the unfairness of society, the way the Romans are treating people. So I'm just going to go ahead and work on this. And so I see one little thing here I forgot I can fix really quick. It has nothing to do. I'm going to go to the main layer, and these little Bible things, I'm going to add them later. So I've been taking these little, they had these little things that they would put the text in. I'm going to have that, but I don't want it in this version. Okay, so now I click on the watercolor layer, and now you're going to just kind of get a quick tutorial just to remind you like how this stuff works. So first thing I'm going to do is I think just put a wash right over everything, and this will help save time. I've got it on standard paper, basic paper, and I'm going to make a really big one here. And don't worry, go over the edges, that's fine. Okay, and often really putting a sepia, or not a sepia, but this one would be a so we put this color in here, and now I'm going to maybe put in these buildings here. So I'll put in a shadow over on here, and I notice when these files are pretty big, which I made these pretty big, that the paint acts a tiny little bit bigger. Oh yeah, when I push hard, why is it doing that? I must have a weird setting. Let's see. Opacity jitter. Let me turn that off. I don't know. Sometimes you just have to fool with it. But for some reason, instead of a straight color, it's adjusting slightly depending on if I push hard or soft. Which reminds me, when I used to give you guys spankings, I'd ask, do you want it hard or soft? And you guys liked that. I created artificial like tension just for fun, because you knew Dad would never give you a really hard spanking. I forgot all about it until I just said hard or soft. Okay, so so I think this building, I'll have kind of a oh, there it is, expression pressure. That's not supposed to be there. I'm going to put none. There it was. Under opacity, I think this will fix it. Let me see. No, it's still doing that. I may have to stop this video and go like figure out what's going on, because I can't. I want a straight color. I don't want it just changing depending on how hard I press. So let me pause this.